Hunter.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Nessa.
And this is the Family Showdown!
Yeah! That song didn't overstay its welcome. Meow! How's it going? Good evening. Welcome to Family Showdown Live. Top 10 craziness. And today we're going to talk about games that overstay their welcome.
Hello, everyone. Let's see.
Oh, gonna have to ban Tommy. First thing he says, bets on whether this list outstays its welcome. Tommy's outstayed his welcome. Bye.
30-second timeout. All right. Here we go. So this is the list. If you watched last time when we did the resolution update, I couldn't remember what the list was. Eventually we figured it out. So this was suggested by someone. We really should scribble down.
Good job, someone.
We really should scribble down
Good job.
the people that suggest our different things. But they suggested this one, so it's games that overstay their welcome. You hear this? This is kind of almost becoming a part of the lexicon of board gaming is the overstay your welcome. When you play a game, so basically when you play a game and it's like you get like 3/4 of the way through and you're like, oh, I'm done with this. It's not necessarily a bad game. It's just that you're.
Oh no, I have some games I really like on here.
You're like repeating. Maybe you're repeating something over and over again. You're not feeling any progression. Maybe you have a runaway leader situation. Maybe and the game could have ended sooner. It can be any number of reasons, but for whatever reason you want it to end, but it's not really. I've not really put any on my list that I just don't like the game, and I'd rather have it just end before it starts.
Oh, I thought about doing that just to mess with you guys, but no, I didn't. I behaved.
Yeah, you were suggesting one game to put on there that you despise.
I might just put it as an honorable mention just to troll everyone.
Yeah, so these are games where, let's say there's like 10 turns, and about 8 turns in, you're like, okay, I'm done.
Well, not necessarily. Like, for me, there's a few that, too, I'm like, okay, how to describe it? Like, I feel like it needs to end sooner because there's just either like this really weird gap in things, or like you said, it doesn't feel like it feels like you're doing so much more of the same, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like it's taking a lot of time that it maybe doesn't need to.
Yeah, I can see that. The image I kind of got in my head is that you see a game, it's progressing, and it's got this arc going to it, right? And you boom, you hit the climax. But then you just kind of keep going for a little bit further, right?
Yeah. That's kind of...
So, anyway, so there you go.
Summation.
So this is a popular saying. A lot of people... I've heard this term so much in like the last year. It overstays its welcome. It's too long. It should have ended in 3 rounds ago. And it seems to be a way to judge games lately. Maybe not lately, but it seems like it's more so.
It's more mainstream now, I think.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's just jump right in. So how'd you make your list?
I just thought about games. Yeah, I just thought about games that, again, for one reason or another, didn't end when I thought they should. And I'll explain that because there's different reasons for several of the games. It's not all that they dragged on. Maybe it was something else. And I'll explain when I get to them. Some games I liked. Some games I'm kind of meh on. Some of them I really like. You'll see. So.
Most of these games, I'd say there's some games on here I love. There's some games on here I'm kind of okay with. And there's some games on here I don't necessarily like, but they're very popular games. That's why I included them.
What? Interesting.
But at one point or another...
I renamed him Troll.
Most of these games I really, really enjoy. Some of these games was just... I really enjoyed the game. It just got ruined by the overstay your welcome. And that's why they're... higher up on the list.
Yikes.
So that's what it kind of ruined the game for me. That's kind of how I ranked mine, is how much damage did the overstay your welcome do to the game. All right, well, thank you for all that are joining. We're going to jump right in with my number 10. We didn't, in case you didn't hear, we didn't change the order this year, so we're keeping the order. So I guess it's every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
All right, so my number 10, let me scroll up. Here we go.
Ooh.
My number 10 is... Stone Age.
What?
So Stone Age, this one's the lowest on lists because I still enjoy this game. But Stone Age is one of those Euro games where you're basically doing the same thing on your first round as you doing on the 10th round of the game.
Yeah.
There is no difference. There is no progression. There's no arc. I mean, you get some hammers to give you, that gives you a little bit more power. But that's basically the only thing that arcs is the hammers. But you're doing exactly the same thing at the end of the game that you're doing at the first round of the game.
It's true.
So that one could be shorter. For a family weight game, if you play with the full number of players, that game can get long. Yeah. That game needs to be about half as long as it is. So.
Yeah, I can see that, I guess.
But Stone Age is a great game. They came out with a fancy new... Well, not fancy, actually. The anniversary edition is not fancy.
I was going to say, all it does is look cold.
Yeah.
It's the winter version.
It has a winter version. It's not fancy. But anyway, Stone Age is a great family game. This is probably one of our most played family-ish games.
Yeah, it's slowly being replaced, but yes.
Yeah, that one used to hit the table like every couple weeks for a long time.
It's true.
But yeah, that game really could be just half as long, and I think it would be just as good.
Yeah, I can see that. Cause yeah, you're doing the same thing.
There you go.
I get it. All right. My number 10, I actually like to play a lot, quite a bit more than Hunter, and that is Citadels. But depending how your group plays this game, it way overstays its welcome because not the assassin, the warrior. If you have somebody that's warrior happy, all they do is go and blow up buildings. And that just delays the end of the game. Delays the end of the game. Delays the end of the game. And you're like, why? You know, it doesn't need to be that way.
And a lot of times...
Stop the killings.
A lot of times the person doing the killing has no chance to win.
Oh, yeah. He's just, at this point, he's like, I'm taking y'all with me.
It's just being... Burning the city down around him, basically.
Yeah, he's like, I want to watch this place burn. And it's horrible because you're right. You're just watching them and you're like, how do you, first of all, have the money to do this? It's ridiculous. And then second, why? Why do you want to drag the game out if you're losing? I don't get it. The rest of the time, it's fun. And I love it.
It's a great premise.
But if someone gets warrior crazy...
Yeah, but
thankfully doesn't usually happen.
This is a game where I think you'd almost house rule and say instead of needing X number of buildings, you need X divided by 2 number of buildings. I can't remember. Is it 8 buildings?
Yeah,
I think it's 8 buildings. Make it 6.
Oh yeah,
it would be just as good.
You can, but you could potentially have the same problem.
True.
You can have the same problem.
That's true.
Because of this roll. It's almost like you need to. Oh, whoops! He's always in the discard pile.
Rip up the warrior. We've never played with the other rolls. I wonder if there's the other rolls
get rid of the warrior.
Doesn't have the one that blows up the buildings.
That's entirely possum. Possum.
Possum.
Oh boy, my English is on point tonight.
Possum.
Awesome.
Awesome possum. Yes. My number 9 has been replaced by another racing game because this game is long, and really the racing game is long because of the way the vast majority of people play it.
You mean not recklessly?
And that is Formula D. And this one you almost we stopped playing it. We haven't played this since a tournament a couple of years ago, but it Formula D is a racing game where you shift gears and you roll dice. As you go up in gears, you roll bigger and bigger dice, like 10, 12s and 20s and 30s and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you go through a tunnel, I'm having problems.
Sorry, I'm contagious.
If you go through a corner too quickly, you take damage and your car can blow up. So everyone counts up exactly how many spaces they need to stop within the curve. So they're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they roll the dice and they count it. And they go, okay, I'll go this way. And I'll veer off this way. And I'll count again. And I count again. And I count 17 times. And boom, you finally finish your turn. And that happens over and over and over and over again.
Which is too bad because that game has got some funny elements to it. Yeah. And it's got a lot of fun stuff in it, but everybody has to min-max their moves.
Yeah, you almost... I've heard of people house ruling it and say you can't count the squares, but then you just have someone staring at the board, counting in their head. I mean, how do you prevent them from doing it? But what's funny is if you look in the rules for Formula D, there's rules for 2 laps, and they may as well just take that part of the rules, rip it out, and throw it away because there is no way I would do 2 laps in this game. it would be like half an afternoon, like a whole afternoon.
Oh gosh, the way we play, unless it's just like pedal to the metal, baby.
Yeah, Formula D is like, it's literally like a 2-hour game.
Yeah, it is.
It's insane. It should be like an hour game.
Yeah, I agree. Max.
All right, there's my number 9, Formula D, which has been replaced by Downforce.
It's true. All right, my number 9, I like it. It's meh to me. And part of the reason is the reason that I'm stating, and that is Machikoro. Machikoro overstays. Well, let me explain. If you actually get decent rolls, yes, the game can move fast. However, if you get hosed on your dice, nothing can save you. And you will sit there going, oh, look, I rolled 2 again. Cool. 12 turns, I might be able to do something with that. Okay? Yeah, it's exciting. So you don't get to do anything. Meanwhile, you have like runaway leader problem because you're stalled out, and so you're just like, wow, I kind of wish I was.
We don't even have that game anymore, do we?
No, I put it in my game collection at school.
That one, yeah, that one.
That
may be just our experience, but that game, every time we've played, someone annihilated everyone else.
Well,
I don't think we've.
No, I've had some close games with you, but the problem is that.
Are you sure? I don't recall any close games.
Not super close, but close. But it just seems like by the time you finally build up your engine, maybe it's just, again, my luck, though. But I have a really hard time building up a good engine, and it just feels like, okay, I'm kind of done. By the time I've finally built up to anything, it's just meh. So I'm like, okay, they need to do something to kind of keep it going or something. I don't know. Something needs to make that move a little more. So.
All right. I don't know. I don't think it necessarily overstays as welcome. I just don't like the game very much.
Oh, well, there you go.
Which is why it wouldn't make my list. So I didn't really. The games I despise didn't make my list.
Yeah.
All right, my number 8. I love this game. Oh, it's one of my favorite games of all time. But man, when someone takes a port action in Merchants and Marauders, 300 years later, they're finished. I love this game. This game, like I said, it's one of my all-time favorite games. And a lot of times when you do the port action, you just move on to the next person's turn. But sometimes you want to know what that person is doing in port, so you want to wait to see what they do. But, oh my gosh, you can go in, you can hire dudes, you can look for rumors, you can rebuild your ship, you can sell a ship, you can buy a ship, you can
repair stuff too.
You can do all sorts, and if you play with the expansions, there's even more stuff you can do.
Yeah.
A port action, if someone is even slightly AP, a port action could take 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
For someone to work through. It's just insane.
Yeah.
It's just completely insane.
Insane in the brain.
All the stuff you can do. I mean, it's like your normal turn is like, if you don't go into port, it's like I move, and I'm done. Or I move, and I attack a merchant.
Yeah, it should go pretty quickly.
If you go into port, oh my gosh, just go time to go get snacks. I mean, it's just that
just
part
reminds me of
that piece of the game. It just
it was like my grandfather at the post office. That was like a social occasion for him. Most people go in, get the mail, leave. It was like a 45-minute affair with him because he'd stop. He knew everybody there, and he'd chat with everybody in and out. It's Merchants and Marauders at the port. It's just, hey, how's it going?
It is crazy because the rules just for port is like 5 or 6 pages long.
Oh, it's insane because
of
all the stuff. It's wonderful.
And like I said, we usually play where when someone goes, you have to end your turn in port, so that's basically the end of your turn.
Yeah.
We play where the next person moves on, but there are situations where someone they start buying guns, and you're like, okay, hold on. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're switching your ship out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, I got to rethink what I'm gonna do based on what you're doing. Yeah. But for the most part, we move on. But man, and this game is really long.
Yeah.
It's really long. I mean, if you play the full 4 players, they're talking, and this is just must be how we play, but every game we've played, it's about an hour a person to play that game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because of port stuff.
Yeah.
If we played it more frequently, it'd probably speed up a little bit. I think that's part
probably,
of it. But you know.
It's just the game. It's funny that it's just I think it's interesting that one person's turn could be like literally 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And the next person's turn could be 15 minutes. It's just. But I love the game. It's one of my favorite games. But
yeah.
That port, man, too much. And Zaya has mostly fixed that. The port action in Zaya is similar, but I think if I recall correctly, you move on to the next person. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, we do. We usually do.
All right. So what's your number 8?
I'm sorry, I was just laughing because Dean jumped into some crazy chat stuff going on. He's like, what is happening?
Port actions?
Yeah. Okay, so my number 8, this may seem kind of like
Man,
exclusive.
You made it so tiny.
Oh, I just left it as it was. Sorry.
It's so tiny.
This one you may or may not have heard about. We've talked about it a lot before, though, and that's Camp. Again, I love this game. It's a family game
that never ends.
Yeah, it's a roll and move and trivia game, but it's a family game, so I don't mind that, and the length isn't bad. But what is bad and makes it just kill me every time is there are 4 spots on the game that if you land, you get to go back to the Fun Fact Camp.
No, it's a...
Or whatever they call it. It's camp. It's
fun camp or camp?
Yeah, it has a stupid name.
Club
but anyway,
camp
you
club?
stop, you go back to this spot, which is only about a third of the way down the track or a fourth of the way down the track, and then you get to read a fun fact. That's fun the first couple times. However, you always end up rolling and landing on those stupid things, so you'll be winning the game, and there's one of those spaces like 4 spaces away from the last spot in the game. You will land on that and go all the way back, and you're like, oh boy. A snail has 32 brains. That's exciting, you know. Actually, I think it was a slug.
I assume Nessa's asleep.
Yeah.
I've quickly changed dice before in this game to another number.
I am so.
Oh man, Nessa would be like running away like miles ahead of everybody, and she'll roll, and she'll get the one where it lands on that thing, and I'll just change the. This game's fun. It teaches people about nature, but oh my gosh.
Landing on that space, I mean, there's only so many times.
You go back about 20 spaces, which is like 6 rounds around the table or more to get back to there again.
It's painful. It is painful. The rest of it's awesome. But it's like, if I have to hear that a giraffe's neck is such and such length, and they do this and that, and I'm like, I heard those same facts now. I know every fact in that fun fact box.
I haven't got caught yet switching that die.
I don't know how you've gotten away with that.
I like if she rolls a 3, I'm boop.
I just realized I haven't played with you in a while. I'm gonna watch more now when we do this, because it's been one of us playing with it.
I'm so bad.
So great.
All right, my number 7. What is my number 7? My number 7.
I'm intrigued now.
My number 7 is Battlestar Galactica. Another one of my all-time favorite games. But man, you play this with the full player count with all the expansions, you better have brought food and water and a tent to play this game. It is long.
This too, if you have a lot of players. And
Oh my gosh,
it's
long.
Why?
It
is
it so long? And
just so much stuff you have to
do. And we kind of take it on ourselves because we do so much smack talking and messing with each other.
We don't help it.
We drag the game out more. We don't have anyone policing the turns. And this game, I think the last time we played, we didn't even play with all the expansions. We played with
it was like the only game.
6 or 7 people, whatever the max number of people is.
I think it's 6,
and it was like 6 hours.
Stupid.
But we stopped to eat, but man.
Yeah.
Whew, this one needs
but
to
it's
be
funny though.
This one needs to be condensed a little bit. Just a little bit.
Kabuki says BSG with everything is a bit of a mistake. And I'm like, yeah, it's just so much stuff. And then again, the smack talk, you can't leave that stuff alone and just do your move, because then you're like, oh really? Is that what you're gonna do, Toaster? You know, I mean, it just.
And we take and analyze everyone's move and talk smack.
Stupid.
And it's fun. And like I said, I love this game, but when we play this game,
you have to commit.
That is the game day. This one game is the entire game day.
It is.
We may sneak in 1 or 2 games at the end on the bookend, a couple of short games, but man, it takes.
Oh gosh,
it's almost like it feels as long as TI4, but it's not.
It's almost as exhausting too by the time you're done trying to
gosh.
read everybody the whole time.
But what's funny about this game is you play almost every game we've played. You play for hours and hours and hours, and it comes down to like one roll of a die at the very end or something stupid. It's like we played 8 hours to decide a game on a die roll. It's just
that's the best part, man.
But I love this game.
Hard.
I love this game.
So
it just needs to be about half as long, probably.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is a monster, and again, I love it.
This overstays as well.
What? That's not mine.
Yeah, it's number 7.
Oh, I put it somewhere else. Then that's definitely not it. I probably loaded it on yours. Whoops. My game is Arkwright. It's definitely not that game. That's hilarious, though. That would have been quite trollish.
Arkwright doesn't overstay it. That game's awesome.
I didn't say it's not awesome, but Arkwright just... Holy goodness. That is a cube pusher. But it's a cube pusher where you push this, and then it sets this in motion, does this, and sets this economy, and does this.
Spreadsheet the game?
It's spreadsheet the game, and you know what? After a while, I'm done playing with the spreadsheets. I'm like, this could be a good round less, I think, and I would be happy. Whew. Because by the time, I don't know, it's just a commitment. It is a life commitment, a brain commitment. I think they slice out part of your brain. You have to donate it to play this game. And by the time you're done... I'm done. I am done with that game.
I love this game. This game's perfect.
Well, it's a good thing because you do spreadsheets
all
the time.
If
you hated spreadsheets, we'd all be in trouble. I'm just saying.
Love this game. This game's good. It's just to pause in the action. I forgot to reset the delay. So you guys are like 30 seconds behind us, and it is driving me. I'm not used to having a big delay like this.
That's awesome.
Because Battlestar Galactica is still on the screen what we're looking at. It's so weird. I wonder if I can. I don't think I can change it mid going. So anyway, so what, you say anything else about how amazing it is?
I didn't say I hated the game. I just said that it's long.
It's not that long.
It's long.
It's about 3 hours, 4 hours.
Okay. Let's make that a 2-hour game, and I'm good. That after that is...
It would not feel the same if that was a 2-hour game.
Yeah, exactly. I might come out alive and not a slug and
see what you did to my number 6
I'm good.
here.
I'm done with the rest of the day.
You didn't kill my number 6. I don't know what you did. You must not have saved it. My number 6 is Tales of the Arabian Nights.
Arabian Nights. Yeah.
So we've only played this game once.
We need to play it again.
We haven't... But I recall the one time we played this, about 2 hours into this game, I was like, okay, I'm done with this game. We've played enough. We're done. Because, I mean, it's funny, it's hilarious to see what happens to you and stuff, but what I don't like about the game, and it may be on its way out once we try it again, the stories are not cohesive.
No, not really.
It's very random. Like, you'll walk up and you'll talk to some old lady and you'll give her some money and then she'll shoot you. And then the next scene, you're like chasing a dog down an alley and you find a gem. And then the next scene, you're on a boat. There's nothing. There's no connection between these. I think you get symbols or something. I can't even recall how to play the game, but I recall it's like 20 random, like you shuffled up a bunch of random stuff that happened.
It's almost like you got the really weird pages out of the Choose Your Own Adventure books. You know, the ones where, like you said, you make those choices that don't match, and they put them all together and made a game with it.
Yeah, it's just...
Because then you're like, so...
Nerf gave us some...
Aw, Nerf!
Hey, we should take that in real Australian dollars and take it to our trip. We're gonna need some Australian dollars here in a month or two.
Aw, you're sweet, Nerf.
Nerf's the best. Watch your videos; they're crazy. But anyway, Arabian Nights is a storytelling game where you're traveling around and you have all these encounters and you decide what to do and your stats go up and down and things like that. But it's like someone took
it's funny
a series of cards and just shuffled them up, and this is what happens to you. It really didn't feel. And we played it 2-player. And it was like
long,
like 3 hours or some craziness. I'm like, this has to end. End this game.
Well, all you needed to do was make the wrong choice. Okay.
End this. Yeah, it was way too long for a disjointed story.
But it was entertaining.
I
thought it was funny. I think those kinds of games are funny. That's just me. But for what it was, you're right. It's very long.
Yeah.
I mean, because now we've got like House of Danger. You could do that, and that's in a nice condensed story thing. It's not going to last 4 hours and you've got your choose your own adventure fix.
And your decisions affect things that happen later in the game.
Hopefully, at least somewhat. Some of them are still have that choose your own adventure, like, what? Why was that the worst decision? You know, kind of thing. But I don't. So yeah. All right. I may or may not get some hisses from Hunter.
What number is this?
Number 6. Oh, great. That's what happened to it.
Are you one off on all of these?
No, I'm not one off on all of those.
All right, what's your number 6?
Although, now I am worried because I don't think I loaded that game.
What's your number 6?
All right, my number 6 is Zaya. Okay.
Boo.
Yeah, I knew Hunter was going to have a fit.
Boo.
Here's the thing. You guys know Zaya is one of my top favorite games, period. Like, love this game. But...
Boo.
Shush! You are such a poop. Alright, so... What happens if you have the high play count for that game? Oh my gosh. Just... It takes a while to ramp up. And between that and the dead time in between players' turns, I'm ready to move on. I'm just ready. I mean, I've joked, but I seriously have crocheted a blanket while I'm playing this game. Because there's like a good... If you're going with the full player count, you're waiting for everybody to do their full turn. You can't do anything to affect it. You can't react to it. You're just there.
You can get shot.
You can get shot. Okay, maybe. You can go get some dinner. You can read a book. May not want to totally read a book because you, again, could get shot. So I just stick around and crochet and watch this. I love this game, but by the time you're doing that, it's just like, So I'm happier when we play the shorter game and go only to like 10 victory points or something, because if you've got a large play count and you go to the full 20, 25 or whatever it is, I love that game. You know I love that game, but that's a lot of game. That's just crazy.
I think I figured out what the problem is. This is what the problem is.
What's the problem?
We weren't live on our thing. Our video was behind.
Man, what is going on with
But anyway,
you're like, woo, a chicken.
I don't think Zaya overstays it welcome. I think I need more time in my life to play this game. Because I would honestly, if I in another time, in another place, I'd be like 20 points, full player count. Let's play let's play this for 12 hours.
I'm not saying...
Because I love this game.
I do too, but with the downtime and then the slow ramp up that it takes with so many players, it makes me just want to play it 2-player. Which stinks because I like the interaction, but the whole combo of things, I'm just like, I want this to end sooner. I don't know.
I don't know. This is one of those games where I would, if I was younger, like in my youngin days, I would crank this up at 10 in the morning and play like a 12-hour game of this. Let's go to 20 points. Let's get all the massive, big, giant ships and let's throw down and blow each other up. It'd be awesome.
It's pretty cool.
So it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's just too long for my life.
Too long for my life.
All right, number 5.
That's a lot of these games, man.
All right, this is the first game, I think. Yeah, this is the first game on my list that I dislike because of the overstaying its welcome. And that is a new game that's very polarizing.
Oh, I haven't played this. Okay. Yeah, this is another one of those where you hear things from people.
That is Feudum. So I played Feudum one time at a convention with some of our con friends. And I love so many things about this game. I love the way the guilds worked. I love how the turns worked. I love the interaction. But about, I would say, halfway through the game, we already knew who was going to win. And we had like 2 more hours to go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was completely obvious who was going to win the game.
No.
Even if we ganged up on this person, we probably couldn't have stopped them from winning. And we still had 2 hours to go. And basically, we played for about another 30 minutes, and I said, guys,
let's just
you're my buds, but I'm not playing this for another hour and a half to let this person add up their score that's going to be double my score. Because the thing about Feudum is there's situations, it's really weird. So it's basically, imagine a Euro game, but you're forced to do combat. You don't have any choice. You have to do combat. And if you do not do combat and you do not win combat, you get punitated like crazy, to the point where I was so far behind that the person that was leading the game, he could just stop playing, and I still could not catch him. That's how far ahead of he was.
That's
to me.
Really weird setup.
And I don't know if it's just because it was the first play and we didn't know what was going on or what, but man, that game, whew,
that's rough.
That game. And what's so sad about it? There's some mechanisms in the game that I have never seen before that were amazing Euro mechanisms that someone needs to steal from this game. But that combat and the way the other half of the game was just so bad.
Huh? That's really weird.
Because let me kind of give you from what I remember, this will give you a short idea of what I'm talking about. There's these different guilds that you go to that you basically it's kind of worker placement-esque. You go there and you take some actions and you do some things. But the thing is, what you do at one guild, the stuff it's literally a cube pusher. So you manipulate some cubes and get something from this one guild, and all that stuff pushes to the next guild and makes that guild manipulates the next guild in a row, and it kind of goes in a circle of one guild manipulating the next guild. Like you do stuff at the merchants guild, it'll do something at the trade guild or something, whatever, and it changes what happens there, and it's like this flow of economy that happens around the board. But then you got all the rest of the game, which I didn't like.
You got all the rest of the game.
So it's just this game. I was so disappointed. I mean, rough. Before the combat started and all the that part of the game happened, I'm like, I love this game. This game is awesome. And then all of a sudden, about an hour later, I'm like, I hate this game.
Wow.
I mean, I went from well, this game's amazing. I love it. I want to buy it. I'm going to get it. Oh, this game's horrible.
Yeah, pretty much all of you said that too. That was funny.
All of us walked away with ugh.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Even the guy that annihilated us was like ugh.
That's funny.
Because it's like, imagine a heavy Euro game and you're forced to do this weird combat-y stuff.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But anyway, I talked way too much about Feudum.
You did.
My number 5.
All right. My number 5 we just played recently.
And I bet it's not that. So what is it?
What the heck? What did I do?
You're one off on everything.
Oh, man.
What's your number 5?
It's Destigil. I call it Destigil. I think it's Destiel. I don't know. You don't pronounce the J.
Do we even have a picture?
I probably not. That's how tired I am. I apologize. Don't worry about it. I already took it to school. It's just a game. It's just a little game. But it's a stack
what have
of
you done?
I don't know.
Man, you are tired.
Hey, at least I spelled things right.
What's this called?
I didn't even put it on there?
No.
Oh, wow.
You're one off.
D-E space S-T-I-J-L. J-L. I don't know. That sounded very twangy all of a sudden. So you get a stack of these cards, and it's great because it's a highly portable little game, and I like the concept a lot. But it's got like these crisscrossy patterns, and then they've got blocks of color and stuff on it. What you're going to do is lay it over, it was like 2, 3, or 4 spaces, and you're trying to make, like, you'll have, if it's a 2-player game, you have 2 colors. You're trying to get the most of these little squares of your colors all over the board and stuff that you're creating as you go. Problem is, with that game, it feels like there's twice as many discs as there need to be. For me, I'm like, yep, that's good. This should be a 5-minute game. And I think it's still only like 15 or 20 minutes, but I'm like, this should be a 5-minute game.
This should be a 0-minute game.
It's just, I like it. I like the idea, and I like abstracts, and I like trying to make little puzzles and stuff, but for what it was, it just seemed like it stretched out really long. I mean, it could have been that I was like really tired. It's possible that was the case too, but I will experiment and try it with some of my students soon and see what they think about it. Usually they eat that stuff up though, so we'll see. They like it. So
this game was bad.
But it just seemed like it was too long for what it was. It needs to be a very short game. To me, it feels like it should be like, you know those little tiny mini games like Hue? The little tiny, they all look about the size of a stick of gum. It should be the length of that game. And it wasn't. If that makes any sense. For those of you that have played those little tiny micro games, you'll know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, I don't know. Too much for what it was.
Alright. I didn't like this game at all. It was a bad game. Alright, my number 4 is... an old one. I pulled this one out of out of way over left field. Like, I just remember this game. So this game, I don't know if anyone's played this, but it is World of Warcraft.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about this game.
The adventure game.
Yes! Oh my gosh, this game was so long.
This game would not end. It just would not.
This should be your number one.
Well, we don't even own this anymore.
I know.
Gosh, this game. What's funny about this game is I like the concept of this game, but they took all the grind that's on an MMO or whatever they're called on
MMORPG.
They took all the grind and building up and the slow getting XP issues with online games and put that was a central mechanism in this game.
Yeah.
Because you would go on an adventure and you get an XP, and you go here and fight another low-level monster, and you slowly build up to where, now you can fight the level 2 monsters. And then you build up and build up. Ooh, you can do the level 3 monsters.
Woo!
And this game is, oh man.
It is the game that never ends.
And what's funny is I wanted to like this game, but after about an hour in, you're like, oh, someone just finished this game.
Finish me off.
And what's funny is we've played this game several times because I kept wanting to love this game.
Yeah, we did. We played it a lot.
I kept wanting to love it, but it's too long.
It's just unlovable.
It's just this game. I mean, it's cool. They have all the it feels like it did feel. They really did a good job of replicating Warcraft, where you wander out in the woods and you get a little quest, and you go over here and you kill some rabbits, and then you go back and turn your quest in. And then you go over here and you go and deliver some mail and come back over here.
Well, you remember that as the 100 hours that you played online? You're going to do that in the board game.
And then eventually you're level 2. Woo! And now you go over here and you fight some goblins and come back.
I guess if you don't mind completely and accurately converting it from a video game to the board game, you're just playing those hundreds of hours with that one game instead. I mean, it's got the...
We should apologize to...
You're tortured forever.
To Bailey,
gaming wife. You're stuck with it for hours.
That game. I just wanted to like this game so much, and I gave it so many tries, and I just finally just said, nope. It's too long.
Yeah, we couldn't get it played to our satisfaction at that point because it took so long. That's really what it was. Because we did like aspects of it. It's just
I like the whole concept of building up and getting more powerful.
It actually is cool.
And collecting weapons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But man, it's literally a grind to play that game.
Leroy Jenkins.
All right, yes. What's your number 4 that I can quickly change? Oh, you may have got number 4 right.
I got number 4 right.
Hooray!
Hooray! My number 4 is Libertalia. I love this game. I like it, but it's, again, kind of like Hunter says, a lot of time. For some reason, this game to me feels like there should be some progression or something changes, but you do the exact same thing.
You get more cards.
You get more cards, but through these rounds, and
all the rounds are exactly the same.
All the rounds are exactly the same. The only difference is going to be 2 cards after the first round, and then another 2 cards after that, and it's just like, it's not... I mean, it's enough to keep it kind of interesting. It's not that. But it does feel like, okay, 2 rounds would probably be good. Why the extra ones? Because it's 3 or 4 rounds. It really doesn't need to be
3 full rounds.
3 full rounds. And I don't know. I feel like it should be done quicker. Because the changing up of the cards is like the main thing with the game. And it doesn't change that much. Because it's like, all right, if you're paying attention... You can actually go around and be like, okay, I know he didn't play those cards. So he's got those cards left. I mean, the first round, you know what everybody's got left. Or you could, if you're paying attention again. But then the next time, again, if you're paying attention, you're probably going to remember what everybody's still got. Because everyone gets the same cards again. It's just the only difference is what you kept behind. That's it. It's the only difference. And so everything's going to play the same. I enjoy it, but again, it's one of those that it needs to be about half its length. So
I can see that. It's way too long for a light game.
Yeah. It's played like it's a heavier game than it actually is.
Right.
And I think
it would be more interesting. I can see what you're saying. It'd be more interesting if you like built up and got better weapons or something. And the quests got harder at the you want to get in the treasure.
Something
that where it ramps
up,
but you're doing the same stuff.
Or they got rid of half your cards,
and the treasure's
so that
not
the
more
cards
valuable.
Don't overlap. Yeah, like
the third round, the first round treasure is the same as the third round treasure.
Oh yeah. There's nothing that ramps up. Nothing ramps up in the game. It's just
that's a good one.
Which is a bummer because I really
that one gets a seal of approval from me. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I agree with that one.
And maybe it's because we played it so many times. Because the first few games, I guess, with the newness of it and everything, it didn't feel like that. But as we played it more,
it's still a good game. I like it.
No, it's a good game. I like it, but I'm not gonna go like crazy over it.
So I'm going to tell a little story before I do my number 3. I got a little story behind this game. So this game used to be way back. Used to be one of our most played games, maybe. But the game slowly got longer, felt longer, and like, okay, this is just too long. Then we tried it 6 players. When we were done with that 6-player game, I packed up the box and walked over and put it on a shelf to be sold. And that game is Catan. I literally, when we played the 6-player version of the game, I packed it up and put it on the shelf to be sold. It didn't even go back on my shelf. I said, I am never playing this game again. For whatever reason, that 6-player game took like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It was just insane how long that game took. It was just, I was checked out like 2 hours in. I was like, I'm done. And we still had hours to go. Literally at the end of the game, I was giving people points. I was making dumb trades just to get this. I'm like, I will trade you 7 sheep for a wheat. I was just anything to end this game. Man, that killed Catan for me forever. Catan is dead to me. Catan is dead to me. The Settlers of Catan. That tells you how long ago it was. It was still the Settlers of Catan.
It's true.
So
it's true.
A side story. I may have already told. What are people saying?
Huh? Bailey likes my nails.
Oh. It has gone off the rails. So I
got give me wife and I went to go get our nails done.
So I got a story. So we were at we were at the Dice Tower retreat.
Oh no!
And I was walking around just kind of seeing what everybody was playing because I just finished the game.
Yeah.
And I walked by and Tom was playing a Catan, a version of Catan. I think it was base Catan with maybe one of the new expansions. And I walked by and I said, "I'm so sorry." He's like, "Don't make fun of games. Give it a chance." So I walked off. Like 3 hours later, Tom walks by and said, "You're right." So Catan is done. I am done with Catan. Don't ever ask me to play Catan. It is dead. That game is dead to me.
Well,
I have one version of Catan.
Star Trek.
Well, 2 versions.
Oh yeah, that one. This one's cool.
I have this one. Which is okay.
I like that one. And we haven't played that in years.
That's a Star Trek one, which I probably won't play either.
The only reason we kept it is because it's Star Trek.
That game.
You're funny.
That game is
funny.
That used to be like prime real estate back in the day, but that game has aged very, very poorly. Very poorly, in my opinion.
But that's what people think of when they think of board games. You mean like Monopoly and Catan?
Oh my gosh.
Settlers of Catan?
What's your number 3?
I've
said enough about Catan.
My number 3 overstayed its welcome with us and the
girls. Oh my gosh,
actually.
This is a good one.
And
this one would make my list.
We will never finish this game, actually.
This is a good one.
And it's Mice and Mystics.
This is a good one.
This game hates players. And you're like, what are you talking about? Well, here's the thing. Especially if you've got people that are new to this sort of thing and you don't pass the level the first time, they don't give you a benefit. More often than not, they punish you. And then you have to reset and start the entire level over. Being punished. So you had trouble playing that the first time. And then they made it harder for you to play it again. By the time we're doing the third run through of something, it's like, yeah, I don't even care if we win now.
Yeah, we played it one time and we got stuck on a level. I think we played it 3 times, and I just took the box, walked over, went to our sold shelf, and it's gone.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
no, that's exactly what I did.
Frustrated. The girls, we were all frustrated. We're like, "Are you serious?"
We should have just moved on to the next story, but
yeah, that's the thing. But then it's you don't have the equipment or whatever it was you're supposed to get out of it.
Well,
to
you
go
also
to the
don't
next
get
level.
you don't feel like you're building an arc, right?
Yeah,
if you go to this place and lose, and then you move on, it makes no sense why you're moving on, right?
And so it punishes you, and I'm like, why would you punish and then make people reset the level?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See, Stuff Fables did it right.
Yeah, Stuff Fables is like, in fact, the girls were just talking about that today. Like, we should play it again. And it doesn't punish you.
You move on.
You
move on,
but something might have changed differently.
Right.
You may have a little bit of a handicap starting the next thing, as opposed to getting some cool extra item that you might have gotten, or something, but you continue. And that game just, again, it stinks because the world they have is great. The minis are awesome. The story is pretty cool. But if you only get to see the same story over and over again, I'll play time stories if I'm going to be that crazy. I mean, I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah.
So
they need to have some mechanism where this happens. If you lose, this happens. If you win, this happens. But you don't repeat a level.
Yeah.
And that's what Stuff Fables did.
Yep. Stuff Fables is a great replacement. Very happy with that replacement.
That's a good one. I would have put that on my list, but I hate that game now.
Yep.
My number 2, you were way too nice to this game. This game is
Thunder.
Horrible in terms of length. Citadels. Oh my gosh, this game will not end.
That's Hunter now. Citadels. He and Eric.
I think the last time we played, I was taking the warrior and blowing up buildings that weren't the leader.
You were stealing them from Carl because Carl was trying to blow up stuff. Because Carl blew up one of my buildings.
Yeah. That mechanism is such a bad mechanism of blowing up and extending the game.
Yeah, because it just extends.
And you just pick off their little tiny buildings.
That's all you need. Because it's about the number that you complete, not the victory points on them. So
you're to play the game correctly, you would take the warrior and blow up the building of the leader. That is
what you're supposed to do.
The only reason it doesn't happen at the end is if it just ends up in the middle,
right?
It
reminds me of it's almost a Munchkin effect. Anytime you're in the lead, you're going to get the crap beat out of you.
Right.
And so it just slows it down so much.
It goes and goes and goes until the warrior ends up being in the middle, or the person that is in the lead takes the warrior just so they don't get blown up. So basically, I think what she explained, you got to build a certain number of buildings, and that's the in-game trigger. So as long as you keep blowing up the buildings, the end of the game never triggers.
Yeah, you could potentially do that easily. Or the only way you can do it is that the bishop that blocks the warrior, one of the characters blocks him from.
Correct.
So you would have to always do that.
There's ways around it, but it seems like
it's so stalling.
It seems like there was at least every game we play, there's 2 or 3 extra rounds because of that.
You can't even do that because if you start playing that tactic, then someone's going to assassinate that character so that the warrior can come in and blow up your buildings.
Right.
I mean, there's no proof, like you cannot proof
but
your
to
buildings.
play the game correctly, you would do that.
That's what
you would do everything you can to prevent the person from doing that.
So there you go. I mean, I like the game. I like the ideas. I like the roles. I like the way you do the collecting sets. But it's just that one character.
We should try the new roles. Maybe that'll solve some of the problems.
That's true. We should.
We haven't ever played with the new roles.
I know, and I don't know why. Because we've had this game forever.
All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2, I think you'll probably agree with too, and that was Near and Far.
No, I didn't make my list because I didn't like the game.
Oh, well, I think that's what killed the game for me is I can stare at Ryan Lockett's art all day long. His art is awesome. But this game, I think it was just advertised the wrong way, and for me, it just felt like it was the same thing over and over. I didn't feel any progression. So when you're going on to the next scene, okay, that's great. I'm not really bringing that much with me. I'm not carrying anything, or very, very, very little, to a minimum that carrying over from episode to episode, that it doesn't feel like there's any theme to it. There's no draw or something like, oh wow, I've got this really cool item now that I can do something really amazing with. No. And it's possible, because we've done it, where you're going to run into things that actually jack up the timeline with stuff just because you hit them in a different order. Because I remember you went and talked to somebody that I had already slain.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that his ghost? You know, we were kind of laughing about that. I was like, wait a minute, how are you talking to this guy? I killed him. You know, and it just, I don't know. I was really disappointed in that because, again, it had that Stone Age feel where it's cool, I'm doing all this stuff. But again, they should have just kept it, to me, Above and Below did it. It's game, episode, done. But trying to drag it out into multiple things just didn't do it for me. I don't know. It was just, it's multiple games they tried to make look like they carry over.
Yeah, she mentioned that I had early praise. Yes, we played one scenario of it, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. And then about 3 scenarios in, I'm like, it's the same thing over and over again. We didn't even finish the campaign.
Yeah, sadly. And it started strong. Because I really liked the little tweaks that he did from Above and Below to Near and Far. Because we really like Above and Below. And I don't know. It was just, I was disappointed. So that's why it overstayed its welcome.
I'm making notes of games they mentioned because I want to talk about them.
Oh, rock on.
All right, my number 1 was mentioned in the chat like way early, like as soon as the chat started, because they are right, because the game that most overstays its welcome is Firefly the game.
I forgot about that.
Oh my goodness. I was 45 minutes in and I'm like, I am done with this game. And it lasted like 4 hours.
Yeah, because it's cool and it's pick up and deliver and it's the Firefly theme and it's really cool, but you're right, you don't see a progression.
I was so hyped to play this game. I was like, let's do this. I'm excited. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How much longer do we have in this game?
I can see
I was just about halfway through. I'm like, how can I speed up the game to end it? And what's funny is there's parts of the game I really enjoy. There's aspects of the game I like. Yeah,
the way they did the characters and stuff. It's cool.
way too long. And if I'm going to play that long of a game, I'm going to play Zaya, or I'm going to play Eclipse, or heck, I'll play another hour and a half and play Twilight Imperium. I mean, it's just, it was just way too long.
Yeah.
And we were playing base game. I can't see how these people play with the 72 expansions. Oh man!
Ooh, a Firefly themed Zaya.
So
now you're cooking.
So when I see the pictures of the people saying we're playing Firefly with everything, and there's got this massive table, and I have this
when you find work, right?
I have an image that you see in a lot of like movies and stuff. There's like just skeletons sitting around at the table at the end.
Tumbleweed. That's funny. Yeah, and Katie loves that game, and I like playing it partly because she gets so excited about it, and I love that world. But you're right, for what it is, it's so long.
It just doesn't. I never. It doesn't have any wow moments. It didn't have any like, oh, that's really cool and amazing. It didn't have any. Like in Zaya, you may like fly through a planetary shield and go and kill someone and run into the sun and blow up. Zaya's like, yeah, I'm doing the same thing again this turn.
Pick up.
I'm doing some more same thing
Deliver.
again. Oh, I ran into something. Oh, well, that was it.
Bonanza's not on the list. I love that game.
So Firefly the game, I think what killed it was my expectations. Because I was expecting this adventure game with exciting things happening.
I think that's what did it with me.
And quests for me, and cool things. And it was nothing like that. It felt nothing like an adventure game at all.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like I was doing anything exciting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
All right. What's your number 1? I'm ready to be amazed. Has it been mentioned?
Yes, actually it has.
It has?
It has. And I don't think you hated on it enough in some ways, and you're going to laugh because...
Catan?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Catan. Now, I don't mind Catan to a point, especially if people are new to gaming and just the whole new experience and trading. It's fun, blah, blah, blah. but I never again that you got that expansion, that 6-player thing, and after you put that up, he took it and he took the 6-player expansion and he just separated, and you sealed that up instantly. You're like, never playing that again. I about died laughing because I was like, nope. In fact, we really shouldn't even. I think I even told you, let's not impose that on others and just burn it, because you don't want some unsuspecting person to be like,
I almost took it.
A 6-player? We could do more? No, don't do it.
You're funny that you mentioned that, because you're right. Because I went to sell it, I was going to take that 5-6-player expansion and throw it in the trash, so that the person who bought it from me doesn't even know about it. Hopefully, they would never learn.
Never learn.
That game was
cast it into the fire.
That game is not meant to be played with 5 or 6 players.
No, man, no. 4 tops.
But what's funny is I don't even have a desire to play it 2, 3, or 4 player after that experience.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that. I'm a little more tolerant of that stuff, just for whatever reason, and I play with a lot more new people and stuff. So I mean, if somebody was really excited about it and wanted to play it, I would play it. But there's no way, if they had that 6-player thing going, 5 or 6 players, I'd be like, no, I'm good, I'll watch. And then I'll wander off and read War and Peace, and then I'll come back and check on your game. And then, I mean, it's bad.
That game was way too long. It was insanely long.
The length that's great is actually the length of Catan Jr. If you've played Catan Jr., you know what I'm talking about. That's the length that game should be for the full Catan.
Well, I think
but it just, I don't know.
The thing about and we're mainly focusing on the 5 and 6 players, but the thing about it is with 5 or 6 players, if you get to where you're like a victory point or 2 away from winning, everyone just stops trading with you, dumps all the negative stuff on you, and you just stall out. And the only way we got the game to end is, like I said, I just started helping the person in the lead. I started trading with them. I stopped doing negative things to them.
Yeah.
I made totally unfair trades that would have been like, if there was voting, they would have said, no, that's not a fair
You're off
trade.
the island.
Yeah, that's not a fair trade. It just, you stall out. And plus, another thing about 6 players is, as you go around, odds are you're going to get too many resources, and a 7's going to hit before you get back to your hand, and you're going to lose half your cards. So you're trying to dump. You're basically dumping cards.
Yeah, it's terrible.
To get rid of them and making bad trades. It's just,
yeah. Kabuki's got it right. 4 players, 60 minutes. Play it fast. There you go. Yes, I agree.
But I think we're so brutal though. We get so mean to the person in the lead. We do it to ourselves, because basically, like, if someone gets
you
the 9
you.
You do it too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The person that gets in the lead, you're like, I'm not trading with you. I'm not trading with
That's
you.
only if you're in the lead.
I'm not trading with you.
That's only you.
Oh, okay. That's what happens to me. No one will trade with me when I'm winning a game.
Oh, now I'm everyone, apparently.
Yes, you.
I won't trade with you.
So let me take the game off
again,
here.
that's just Catan. Not again. I like the Trails to Rails or whatever it is.
That one's a little long too, but I like it.
It's long, but it's different. It's got more stuff going on.
It's got pick up deliver. All right. So what's funny is I made a list of games that I didn't put on my list. I can't think of what mainstream game. Here's a trivia. You're gonna have to help me here. So let's see. So it's a mainstream game that obviously overstays its welcome. That has the initials HM.
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 And it's a mainstream game now?
Yes. No, it could have been around forever. What is HM? I wrote HM down, and I can't recall what that is. But anyway, there's a lot of games on here that I could have easily put on the list, like Monopoly, Risk, Sorry, Flux, Dungeon, Trouble, Munchkin, and I just didn't put them because that's low-hanging fruit.
You're sure it was HM?
HM. I want someone to genius that up what HM is. Anyway, talk about your honorable mentions. I'm gonna find out what HM is.
I really didn't have honorable mentions. The only one I could think of, actually, also someone mentioned in the chat, and I was like, yeah, that's a really good point, was Conquest of the Empire.
But I like that game.
I liked a lot of the games on my list, but for what it does nowadays, an equivalent game of that design would take half the time. At least. It would be much more streamlined. True. It's an unstreamlined game at this point. Conquest of the Empire is really great game.
But we haven't played the revised version.
That's true.
We played the original
That's
version.
true. We should try that and see what the difference is. HM.
It's like our trivia question.
Hanamakoji?
You get bonus points.
Bonus points if I know what HM is?
Yes.
I want to get my phone now.
And see, I don't even have it rated, which is funny. I don't know what H... Oh! I'm a dummy. Slap my hand. No, better, harder. Honorable mentions. Bye!
Oh my gosh!
So, Monopoly, Risk, Sorry, Flux, Dungeon, Splendor,
Oh, Dungeon,
Munchkin.
yeah. Dungeon.
Splendor, I'm just being mean by saying Splendor because that's too chatty. The game itself, the design of the game.
Splendor is fine!
No, it's not. Splendor is, whose turn is it anyway? But that's not the designer's fault. That's the player's fault.
This is why I don't play with you.
Well, good. So I can't blame the design, but because it's just it lends itself to being a what do they call it, a coffee table game.
Yes, where it's enjoyable with other people, not you. Hunter doesn't talk. He's like, I must destroy. Mall battle.
What?
No fun. Only game.
Here's how we play Splendor. Okay? So it's my turn. It's Rebecca's turn. Hey, did you hear about the sale they're having at so and so?
I don't talk about sales.
Okay,
I hate shopping.
He's like, oh, did you hear what happened in school today? My kids did X, Y, and Z, and blah 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 blah. And then the next person's like, oh yeah, hey, the same thing happened to me. But and then 20 minutes later, everybody's like, whose turn is it? It's your turn.
Somebody just feels left out of the club. You should tell us what your little children are that you supervise are doing.
Man. Anyway, so that's an honorable mention, but it's not the game. It's how certain people I play with play Splendor.
Certain people.
Hunter doesn't enjoy chatting to his family during games. That's right. I'm here to play games. I'm not here to talk.
It's so true.
I'm here to play a game.
It's so true.
I don't have time to talk about your life.
Yeah, the girls start getting chatty too, and you're like, roll the dice. And it's like, all right, fun family time.
I don't mind a little chatting when it's not your turn, but when it's your turn, take your turn. When it's not your turn, talk all you want. I don't care.
Oh, that's a lie.
But don't talk to the person who's taking their turn.
You see there? Oh, there you go. There you go.
Games you play counterclockwise.
I like that. That'd be a good list.
What's that?
Games you play counterclockwise.
There's some games that switch, and like drafting games switch the direction.
We just played Paper Tales. They switch them back and forth.
Yeah, most drafting games do the flippy flop of the direction. Secretly, I've never played Splendor with Hunter. No, Bailey, you come to play games. You're on it. You're on it. You're on.
What?
You play your game. You play to win, and I respect that.
Oh my gosh.
You play to win. You're all business when it comes to games.
Oh man. There you go. There you go. Hunter should play Merchants and Marauders with this group so they can chat while you go to boards. Move seats to accommodate who you are playing. Ooh.
That's funny. Scythe is that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
See, Bailey plays to win. She knows what's up. So there you have it. There is our top 10 overrated games and a couple of rants mixed in with that.
Not overrated.
Overrated.
Games that overstay their welcome.
They're overrated too.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel.
Over games that overstay their welcome. How's that?
I know some people that overstay their welcome too.
I got the giggles at the end.
I know you're.
So
like,
here's some that.
Oh, it's your monsters kicking.
So
in.
here,
Great.
Here's the ones that didn't make my list that were on my list. Splendor. New York 1901.
That one moves fairly quickly.
It needs to be about a 30-minute game for what it is.
Isn't it about a 30-minute?
No,
game?
it's about an hour.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it.
Rum and Pirates.
What? I love that game.
I
love that game.
Way too long.
I love that dumb game. I don't
Rum and
care.
Pirates is a Stefan Feld
Don't care.
game. One of my least favorite Stefan Feld
You
games.
need help.
And then the game, remember the game Kill the Overlord?
Yeah.
That game lasted forever.
It was way too long for what it was. It's true.
It's a simple social deduction game, and it was like an hour and a half.
That might have been the way we were all playing.
But still, it was way too long.
Yeah.
That's all I remember about that game is it was way too long. It was very random on what roles you get and how things interact.
It's true.
And it was long.
It's true.
Kill the Overlord.
La Isla? You don't like La Isla, Tommy?
La Isla goes pretty quickly.
I thought it goes quickly.
But
Power Grid? Tommy, you don't like Power Grid?
Oh, no. Not Power Grid.
I love Power Grid.
Amun-Ra.
Amun-Ra took 4.5 hours.
No.
Oh.
Is it Ra or Ray?
I always Amun-Ra.
I think it's Ray.
Amun-Ra.
I don't know.
Guess it depends on how it's spelled.
All right, so next Tuesday will be our variety show. What are we going to call it? We need to have a name for our variety show. Shenanigans Live next Tuesday. We don't have a lot of games played at this point, so we got to crank out some games. Let's see how many games.
We have some interesting games, though.
How many games we got played?
Oh, he's going to look it up.
So far.
Why is a Power Grid with 4 players? Really? It does go a little long, you're right, but I thought it was pretty interesting. Top 10 games that need to be longer. That would be an easy list for me to make, because there's several games that are so tight.
Marco Polo, number 1.
Marco
Done.
Polo.
That's number 1 for me,
well,
probably.
and All Creatures Big and Small.
Yeah.
I feel like that game's really tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of games like that. That's a good one. I like that. 6-player Dead of Winter was horrible.
We got only 3 games played.
But they're cool games.
All right, let's set a goal for ourselves.
You're scaring me, dude.
How many games we're going to have played by Tuesday? We're going to go for 10. We're going to have 10 games played by Tuesday. 10 games. That's our goal.
You can solo that?
I may be soloing that. We're going to play.
Ray?
We have the game day Saturday, so we'll get some games done.
Woot woot.
But I want to play an epic game, though.
Oh, geez. Here we go. BSG.
But we can't. I was actually thinking about doing BSG, but
we have too many people.
Some people are dropping out about 4 hours in, and that's
that'd be hard.
That's hard to fit in.
That'd be tough.
Anyway, we'll see you Tuesday for the variety show. We'll do a resolution update. We'll do some random stuff, and we may do a live play of some game we need to get played. How about me versus you and Shazam again? We may do that.
That was pretty fun.
We may do Shazam again. We can do Shazam. I wonder if we might find a way to do Shazam versus the internet. I could hold up the cards for you guys to look at, maybe.
That would be funny.
I could hold them up to the camera.
That would actually be pretty funny.
I could use Nessa's little card holder. And you could
You totally could.
You could look at the cards.
Oh man, it's on.
Maybe we'll play
Lady versus the internet. Playing the Duke? Oh my gosh, we'd never get that game done.
No, it would get over with pretty quick. But you'd have to have like 17 dog pieces.
Oh, you'd just make her night.
When you get like 10 pieces,
she'd be like, ah! The dog would explode. Her brain would explode.
Every single piece on the board.
Lady versus the internet and Splendor. That's right. She wouldn't chat. Hunter would probably find
that
her
would be an awesome. Lady
partner.
would be the best person to play with Splendor because she would take her turn and then move on.
Oh man. You better run when that camera turns off.
Charades versus the internet. Reverse charades would actually be pretty funny.
I don't know how to play. I've never played it.
Reverse charades. Basically, instead of one person acting, everyone acts, and one person's guessing.
So we'd both have to do it?
Yeah, we both act out the card, and they'd have to guess.
Oh my gosh.
But see, the problem is there's delay, so stuff like that. Real-time stuff doesn't work very well.
That'd be
with
tough.
The delay.
That'd be funny. Just one. That would be funny, too.
We could do just one. We'll figure out something to do versus the internet. That was fun when Lady played. That was fun, even though Lady lost.
Lady lost horribly. But Lady had, other things on her mind.
Belly aches after it was over.
No, she was happy, man. That was the happiest she's been on a Tuesday night in a long time, so.
All right, so next Tuesday, a resolution update. We're shooting for 10 games played.
You're crazy.
And last but not least, we're gonna sell it at the end of every show. The Family Showdown BGG Spring Meetup is officially scheduled. It is Saturday.
Yay!
Saturday, May 25th, 2 to 6 p.m. at the McCombs.
4 hours?
Yes. At the McCombs boardroom. So, 2 to 6, Saturday, May 25th, BGG Spring. There's still tickets available.
Oh,
McCombs boardroom.
That's exciting.
We're going to do giveaways. We're going to do gaming. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. And if the meetup kind of breaks up before the 4 hours, we'll just break in groups and play games until our
Heck yeah.
And then right after that, at 6 o'clock, it's me versus Tommy in 1830.
Is it really?
And he's gonna get annihilated again. What's
VFM? Oh, virtual flea market.
Virtual flea market. Well, you can.
Oh, it's trading in and out, right?
Yeah. So we'll set up. Maybe we'll make it 3. Okay. No, we'll do 2. You and the girls can be there.
Oh yeah, we'll hang out.
And I'll show up after I
do your virtualness.
Yeah, I'm bought some games and stuff. So
interesting.
So we'll do it. You can do refreshments and punch and pie and stuff while we're virtual flea market.
Heck yeah, play some silly.
I think the virtual flea market is an hour. So, but I'll be done. Hopefully, I'll be done before that because I'm not selling anything, so I'm not waiting on people. I'm buying stuff.
That'd be cool.
So anyway, I'm gonna destroy Tommy in 1830.
He doesn't care about the other players, Tommy. He cares about destroying you. He said there's other people playing, Hunter. He's like, I live eyes for Tommy.
I'll destroy them too. My train is going to run over their trains.
Will someone please challenge him at Stockpile and take him out?
Bring it on.
I'm just saying. It's the time. It's the time.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to play. That'll be my fourth play of an 18xx game.
Ooh, wow, you're going crazy.
So I'm excited about that. So other than that, I don't have anything planned other than that. So anyway, 2 to 6. I'll be showing up probably at 2:30. 2 to 6 at the McCombs boardroom, and we'll say this every time until it happens. So
be there or be a square. I don't know. I got nothing. I'm tired.
All right, David.
Yeah, that's right, David.
If you're at the next cruise, we will play Stockpile.
Yes. Yes.
It is on.
Yes.
It is scheduled. We'll go right after dinner one night, and I will teach you. I'll take you behind the shed.
Take you to school.
Take you behind the shed and give you some whoopings.
Oh my gosh. Take him out, David. Take him out.
All right, we're out of here, folks.
Have a lovely, lovely time. We'll see you in a week. Take care. Mwah. Gold stars for everyone. Whee!
No one got the HM though. They don't get a gold star.
You did after 20 minutes. It was your own writing. Oh my
honorable mention.
Gosh. Take this dog toy.